Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. So please welcome this week's special guest, John. Right, Charlie, we'll start with you. How do you know John?
This is John. On Valentine's Day, when I was 17, I presented him with a dustbin for his daughter.
Nina, how do you know John?
This is John. He was the first person ever to have a drink at the Queen Vic, and the first person ever to have a curry at my restaurant, the Argy Bargy.
And Lee, what about you?
This is John, and he is the previous owner of my house who still pops round with his deck chair so he can sit in my garden on sunny days.
All right, so there we are. David, where do you want to start?
Ooh. Well, Charlie, this is quite a complex series of events. You presented him with a dustbin on Valentine's Day when you were 17 for his daughter.
Yes. I intended to give the bin to her, but she wasn't there. So I gave the bin to John.
What was the name of his daughter?
Ted Rogers.
Catherine.
What sort of bin was it?
Like a big garden bin. OK, I thought it would be a funny Valentine's gift was to give a bin.
Because it's so unromantic.
Yes, but that's the clever ruse, you see. If you're a bit, you're a bit unsure of yourself, so you don't want to give a Valentine's card that says, I actually fancy you. You want to give something that sort of could make you look a bit mad.
What was that? Was there a note with the bin saying poem?
I put her initials on it. You could get these sort of gold initials. You can
ask for a bin to have like nice gold initials or a something nice sentiment written on it. Can't you? A lot of companies do that to bins.
Don't be facetious.
Sorry,
I stuck the letters on myself. You haven't got a shred of romance in you.
What was it? Was it wrapped? Did you wrap it?
No, I put a red bow round it. Romantic red bow.
No, you didn't.
Don't mock what happened. I was really nervous that day, okay?
Yeah.
I was really...
I can imagine while you were nervous, you were probably thinking, I don't know, is the bin the right present? I think any girl would love a bin, but you can't be sure.
Oh, I'm glad my torment amuses you so much. You nasty little man.
Let's move along now, I think, to someone else.
Yeah. OK, so, Lee, why would you let the previous owner of your house still come and sun himself in the garden? Don't say it's because you're kind, because I know you.
What's wrong with his garden?
That's a sad story. When he sold us the house, he hasn't got a garden anymore.
Does he live on his own?
He does live on his own, in a flat.
And he keeps a deck chair just for the purpose of visiting your garden?
Yeah. Well, because he used to come round, and then I found out that he loved the garden, and so I sort of said, well, come round if you want to, if you want to come and sit in my garden.
Sweet, but it's bollocks, isn't it?
Why don't you let him leave a deck chair there?
I don't tell him he has to take the deck chair, but I don't know, maybe he hasn't got any furniture.
Nina, remind us.
Sure. John is basically a supporting artist that has been there since day one, 25 years on EastEnders, and he's known as being the first of everything. So he'll be the first who had a drink at the Vic, he's the first who has been in the laundrette, he's the first who's kind of done any set.
And also, you say he was the first person to eat in...
To have a curry since the Masouds have owned the Argy Bargy.
Well, that's very... That's very plausible. Yeah. But at the same time, could have been made up.
Can I just check something? What? Is he the first in every... Well, he's not. He's the bloke that comes around my house and sits in the garden. But if he wasn't... is he the first... Well, imagine he wasn't, right? The bloke that sits in my garden for a minute, and he is. But imagine he's not, right?
It turns out you're telling the truth.
It's a great
This is one hell of a ballsy double.
Is he the first in every set? Is he like in Doc Cotton's cupboard? Is he just stepping out? Or you mean in the public sets?
No, in the public sets.
So, David. Is John Charlie's dustbin dad, Nina's EastEnders extra, or Lee's friend with a deck chair?
Do you watch EastEnders? Do you recognise this guy?
Has anybody been in my garden?
It's definitely not Lee.
Charlie's is so ridiculous.
Well, I don't know, but
it's so absolutely up his road, isn't it?
Charlie became so heated in defence of his romantic actions.
Too passionate about it, really. Bless.
That's what emotions are like.
Yeah. It's a hell of a thing to get back in touch with the father of someone you were infatuated with years ago and who you gave a bin to. I mean, it's possible, but it's a lot easier to get in touch with the regular supporting artist on the show that you work on.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Come on, then. What are you going to say?
OK, Nina.
You're going to say Nina is telling the truth. John, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm John, and when Charlie was 17... He presented me with a dustbin for my daughter on Valentine's Day.
Yes! And Charlie, John has a present for you tonight. You haven't seen it for 23 years, and I'm serious, it's here tonight, the actual bin. And there are the initials on there. Charlie, you old romantic, you.
So there, you cynics.
Thank you, John.
Well done, Charlie.
For 6 years, I pretended to a girlfriend that I was partially deaf.
Seems reasonable enough. David's team, what do you think?
After how many years of going out with her did this start?
Shamefully quickly.
Was by pretending to be partially deaf how you clinched the deal early on?
Are you saying I have to use pity to attract people?
I'm saying you might have used pity.
I'm not above it.
Did she have a very irritating habit that precipitated your going deaf?
Yes, talking. She was talking about something that was very important to her, some emotional thing.
Right.
And she said you weren't listening to me and got very upset, started crying, and so I thought I'll lie and tell her I'm deaf in one ear. Which I did.
And at that point, what you're saying to her is, I didn't hear anything because I'm deaf in one ear. I thought we were sitting together in silence. That's what I thought was happening.
No, I had my attention taken up with something else, and I said it apologetically.
Stroking his guide dog. Well, that's what he called it, anyway.
Did you elaborate on why you were deaf in the ear after you had to go? What was your reason?
I said that when I was a child, I had nearly drowned when I was like 4 in a swimming pool, and this had left me deaf in one ear. I clearly tried shaking my head, and I felt quite bad because I told the lie early on, and then I had to maintain it.
So did you tell her ever after the 6 years, or did the relationship just break up and you never told her?
I never told her.
Right.
I didn't tell her. I wrote about it in a newspaper column.
That's nice.
She's a Geordie, they're robust.
Actually, to be fair, now that adds credence to the fact he didn't want to hear her, so...
I'm just trying to put myself in the position of that woman. 6 years! You've lied. You've lied to me.
A big lie.
It's quite a big lie.
You'd be surprised how often it doesn't come up.
Now that's a big lie.
And the advantage is, after telling that lie, half the times it comes up, you can pretend you haven't heard.
So what do you think?
So you think it's...
A lie.
You think it's a lie?
Horrifically, I think it's true.
I think it might be true.
You think it's true? Charlie, is it truth or lie?
It's true.
Everything that you just told us is true.
Yes, I'm afraid. I'm afraid it is. And it was terrible. It was such a burden. Oh, poor you! Well, the first time I introduced her to my parents, we're going down to meet them on the train. I suddenly thought, oh, God, she's going to mention the... And so I had to turn round to her and say, don't bring it up, my mother blames herself. I didn't want to lose her. I was desperate. Having told this terrible lie, I was locked into it. I daren't tell her I was going to... Can't you see that... Don't you find that moving? You, cold-hearted monster!
I'm not having this! You can't call us cold-hearted. You've lived
People
a
make
6-year
mistakes,
life.
David!
Yes, and for which they must be punished.
Oh, yes, it's amazingly true. Charlie did pretend to a girlfriend for 6 cruel years that he was partially deaf. Ironically, like all his other girlfriends, she was partially sighted.
I once refused to pick up my girlfriend from the station because I couldn't bear to step over a spider that was between me and my front door.
David.
Was this out of fear or respect for the spider?
Kind of a combination of both. What happened was she rang me, and it was late at night, and so she wanted me to go and be a gentleman, walk her home. And so I had to tell her.
And you were prepared to
again.
tell her that you were too frightened to walk across the spider to collect it from a dark station in the middle of the night.
It was a big spider.
How pathetic was that?
Listen, it caused a huge argument because I was refusing to let... She was saying it's that she didn't want to walk through the streets of London. It was quite frightening. At night, and I was going, yeah, but there's a spider. There's a spider here, which is real. You're scared of some notional threat. I can see one.
Get a stick or something, give it a little tweak and it'll run away.
And he has faced spiders in the jungle. And Lembit Opik.
We still don't know how she got in, you got out, and then what happened?
Well, obviously I was scared, so I dropped a Yellow Pages on it. I kill spiders without any
With only hours and hours of terrified hesitation.
David, which way are you leaning?
Could be true, but that's so often the case on this game.
I think it's a complete lie.
You think it's a complete lie?
Yeah. If it's true, I feel very sorry for Charlie, actually. Because it's so pathetic.
Just openly pity me, for
I
God's
hate
sake.
it when there's so much riding on whether something's true or a lie. It's easy when it's just the game, but now it's your whole view of Charlie. What do you think?
A lie.
You think it's OK, we're going to say...
Say a lie?
It's a lie.
OK, David's team think it's a lie. Charlie, were you telling the truth or were you telling us a lie?
It's actually a hideous truth. I'm genuinely paralysed by fear when I encounter a spider. They're not natural. I know they are natural. You know what I mean.
I don't like spiders at all. I would sort of agree with you, Charlie. They are basically monsters.
Yeah.
But fortunately, they are tiny. I tell you what spiders would scare me. The spiders that kill you in Australia. The spiders that hide in toilets and bite you on the arse just when you're at your most relaxed. And then you don't see them, you die happy.
You die happy.
You die in the moment of relaxation, the glorious moment of ingestion, and then all gone.
Can I ask you, David, is that the only time you truly relax?
Even then, I don't truly relax.
Yes, it's true. Charlie did refuse to pick his girlfriend up because he couldn't step over a spider on the stairs. The best way to get rid of a spider is with a glass and a piece of cardboard. You put the cardboard over the spider, then bash it to death with the glass. Our next round is called This Is My. We're about to bring on a mystery guest that each of Lee's team will claim to have a special relationship with, but only one of them will be telling the truth, and it's up to David's team to decide who. So, please, welcome this week's special guest, Donna. So, Charlie first, what is Donna to you?
This is Donna, who's teaching me basic home maintenance.
All right, Lee, what is Donna to you?
This is Donna, and she saved my life when she threw me a lifebelt after I fell off my boat.
OK, Michael, what is Donna to you?
This is Donna. She has been my #1 superfan since she was 17. She even has a toilet seat cover with my face on it.
Michael has a fan. David's team, who would you like to start with?
Michael, when did you start your relationship with your fan?
I have a relationship with most of my fans.
How did you get to know Donna?
Yeah.
I've seen her at the front of crowds of audiences that have come and waited at stage doors, and you sign autographs, and you stop and you have a chat.
Some shows only Donna turns up.
Only Donna is there.
So what makes Donna your #1 fan?
Well, a number of things. I released a charity single, and so she went and bought them all in a shop and then sold them on at her school.
Isn't that illegal?
Open-air concerts, she'll always try and be the first down the front, so she'll go into training prior to the gig so that she can get there first.
Do you have, like, a #2 fan and a #3 fan?
Well, it's no. No, everyone's #1.
Charlie, what sort of home maintenance tips are you being given?
Very, very basic ones. My home's a mess, and I'm not very good at sort of maintaining, you know, looking after anything in my house. So an ex-girlfriend paid for me to have these lessons where I basically learned... It's basic stuff.
Do you mean like how to change a plug?
Yes, well, yes, that was one of the first things we did. Yes,
Right.
I've only, to be honest, I've only gone 3 times, and
Where do you go?
Where
Where'd you go? Gone where?
Yeah.
She
It's just
comes
in a
to you,
community
you said.
centre down the road.
Are you doing it for a magazine article?
No. No, I'm doing it because I'm a pathetic human being.
Charlie, what is the first rule of Home Maintenance Club?
You don't talk about home maintenance.
Lee, tell us the story of your boating trip. Where was the boat?
The boat was on the River Thames.
Were you by yourself?
Well, I was actually with my dog and one other person.
Why does the dog come first?
What?
Right.
Why does the dog go first? That's exactly what my wife says.
Right.
Why do you introduce me like that all the time? Lee? This is my dog Pickles and one other person.
Who was the other person?
My wife.
How fast a boat is this? I'm not a boat expert.
Well, it's a twin-engine, 28-foot Furline Sun Fury, and as we all know, they can go up to 45 knots, but on the Thames, as we all know, you can't break 6 knots. Just to give you an idea of how fast 6 knots is, if someone is walking beside you and you wave to them, you're committed to it for about 2 hours.
Right. And how did you fall in?
Well, I was actually trying to go round the side of the boat to undo the gas canister at the front so we could make a cup of tea, and I went down the side and slipped.
Why didn't your wife try to save you?
Yeah.
She can't swim.
And what's Donna got to do with it? She hasn't appeared yet in this story.
Yes. Well, Donna was on another boat coming the other way, and I slipped in, and then she just threw me the ring.
And she did
So
what?
your wife, because she can't swim, also won't throw you a life belt?
So what do you say? What is she?
Trini?
I think when Donna came in, the only person who didn't look at her was the guy in the middle.
His name is Lee Mack.
Yeah. Trini!
He's a popular comedian.
Will you stop treating me like staff?
No, I can't decide between Michael and Lee.
I don't believe Lee would go boating very much. And
Why wouldn't I go boating very much?
Just doesn't
Well,
suit you.
Why? All right, then she saved me when I was trying to chase after a whippet.
Reese, do you have any suspicions which way this should go?
I think that Lee is telling the truth.
you think Lee?
Yeah.
OK,
that
let's
your
go
answer?
with Lee.
OK, Donna, would you reveal your true identity?
I'm Michael's #1 fan.
Yes. Look at this. Oh, you've got it. We say congratulations to Donna, and thank you very much indeed for coming, Donna. Thank you. It's Charlie.
I was 40 before I realised that raisins are, in fact, grapes.
Please, T.
How old are you now?
52.
Right, how did you find out?
Well, somebody told me.
Oh, it's a hell of an anecdote. You got any more?
I was eating, like, you know, you can get a pack of, like, assorted...
Nuts and raisins.
Nuts, chocolate things.
Yeah.
And I was with my wife, and I said, what are raisins? What are they? It never occurred to me before. And then she told me they're grapes, and I didn't believe her.
So what did you think they were?
I thought they were raisins.
And you just thought that they grew like that?
There isn't a clue in the way there is with, say, sun-dried tomato.
Exactly.
What about gherkins? Do you know where gherkins come from?
They're cucumbers. Don't call me an idiot.
I mean...
What about currants, Charlie?
Currants, those are they're a grape too?
I think... No, I'll be honest with you, I'm only 90% sure. I think a currant is a grape as well, isn't it?
That's what I would say.
Hang on a minute, who's the idiot here? You hypocrite!
I'm loving this new guest where dried fruit came from section of this show. What about sultanas?
Sultanas, I know what they are. They're white grapes.
White grapes?
Yeah.
So the currant could be a dried black currant, couldn't it be, maybe?
Well, hang on a minute, like,
possible.
literally you were all ganging up on me.
I wasn't. I backed you up. I said sun-dried tomatoes, it would have been obvious, but it's not obvious with a raisin.
And now it's a current affairs show.
What do you think, Hannah?
I think it's true. I think even very, very smart people can be a bit unobservant sometimes.
True.
And I think...
But what about Charlie?
Yes.
What do you think, Danny?
I think it's false.
You don't think it's true because...
Because you can't have waited that long to ask that question. When you say you were 40.
Well, when did you ask what they were?
When my son asked me, and I had to go and Google it.
OK, what's it going to be, Lee?
We'll say it's true.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, we'll say true.
OK, they're saying true. Charlie, truth or lie?
It is, true.
Yes! Well done.